that's where the conversation is going in the international segment. But based on the local conversation and what was in the editorial, I wanted input from both Samiyyah and Katie, and I would have wanted to say something controversial. I'm not going to just go along with this, go along with this, go along with this. What do you think of Belizeans in the diaspora who said they want to work with we? But then we also know, like the editorial said, that them people got allegiance to other countries.
Yeah.
And do you see a conflict of interest there?
Well, you know, my mom always told me that you can't serve two masters. And that is how I feel about that. I just returned from a 5-month stint with some of my relatives in America, no? And they are Belizeans, you know, like, oh, I love Belize. And yes, you know, I think about Belize sometimes when I'm sitting down and having my coffee before I go to work. But honestly, how there are you in the Belizean struggle? Me, we just come, I come December. So I just left everything when they broke down and this, that. I feel as if, I'm not saying that I am more deeply into what's going on in Belize, but I think simply because I'm here and I'm in the day-to-day and I see what's going on, that maybe my fervor for change and my interest is a little bit more steeped, like a tea. I'm not saying it's bigger, it's better, it's more interesting, but it's just more...
I like that. More steep.
It's more steep. You know that, like what tea?
More intense.
Tea that 2 minutes, my tea that 15. You understand? You know, what kind of system like that? I don't know how I want to see it.
I like that. I like that. That's a good way to look at it. What do you think, Samiyyah?
Well, okay. So that, I think that this is, and I think maybe other people have mentioned before as well, but I think this is a good opportunity to further re-engage them. And that's what we want. You know, if I could have a say, maybe I would be more interested in what's going on.
True.
And the other part of that is that if we're going to be allowing, which we do, hand over fist, especially around election time, Guatemalans to come in and be able to vote just like us, you can't tell me that I have more concerns about Belizeans living abroad, voting, you know, participating in our electoral process. And, you know, I'm tying it back to the editorial mentioned the situation with the ICG and with Guatemala. If essentially election after election, we register Guatemalans to vote because they're right there and it's easy for politicians to win votes and to win elections. So we have a bunch of these people, and I'm not saying that they have any sinister intentions towards Belize, but if I'm going to be doubting anybody's allegiance, it's theirs. And so just in case they have sinister motives towards Belize, or they have they're really siding with Guatemala, just to offset that impact, let's have Belizeans in the diaspora voting as well.
But you see, that my second concern is that every election time we have electoral corruption. And so my problem is, if we don't have, if we make we deal it with it, then we bring all the okra from all over the place to put in the basket. That frightened me straight away because I wonder how much more discrepancy we have.
I mean, I think with everything, it's important to look at the potential problems beforehand.
I agree.
And if we look at the problems, if we're willing to admit where there could potentially be the issues, then we can address those things. You know, it's not impossible for us to get, you know, to develop a system that we can trust and to implement it. That's not impossible.
True.
It's, you know, it's something for us to think about because we know Belizeans are corrupt. It's something to think about, but it's something solvable.
Definitely.
Before we take our final break, I just wanted to make, I love it when Turner have the heated conversations. I just wanted to make, the point is, well, one of the things that has been of concern to me that somebody, maybe, we're good at numbers, but I know me, I want to find out how much Guatemalans have Belizean nationality and then complete the process to ensure that their documents will return to Guatemala. What percentage are they registered for vote? Because that's important, especially when I think about referendum. What percentage are they? So somebody, please do the numbers for me and make a note that the answer to that.